Clubhouse turn action here at beautiful Belmont Park. That was the site of the $1 Million Jockey Club Gold Cup here on Saturday, September 27th, a race in which Tonalist won and secured his spot in the starting gate in the Breeders' Cup Classic. More on him in a few moments. Maggie Wolfendale, Jason Blewett alongside. Glad you're with us. A rare Monday edition of Belmont Insider. This is a special show from a special place.
And you get me too. You can't get any more luckier. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Columbus Day, we always have racing here traditionally, and our feature for this Monday has been the Pebbles, and we saw a great rendition today as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really an international cast of 3-year-old fillies in the 22nd running of the Pebbles. We began the day, though, and it was shortly before Belmont Park's first race post at 12:50, where the injury of Wise Dan started to make its way throughout the internet and social media. Sounds like he has got an ankle injury and no potential three-peat in the Breeders' Cup Mile for the great Wise Dan.
You know, they've managed this horse so well, and they handle him with kit gloves, and that if anything is a little bit not of the norm for him, they go ahead and they inspect it with him, and that's exactly what Charlie Lepresti did. He kind of came out of that race with some swelling around that ankle, x-rayed it. They found a half-moon shaped fracture at the bottom of his cannon bone there, kind of, you know, where the cannon bone and the sesamoid joint connect there. So we'll see. Is it career ending? We don't know yet. Right. We hope it's not, but he is a 7-year-old gelding, and he's accomplished a lot thus far.
Yeah, time will tell ultimately if the Shadwell race at Keeneland a few weeks ago would turn out to be the final start of Wise Dan's certainly first ballot Hall of Fame career. We wish him a speedy recovery. We're bummed he's not going to run a couple weeks from now, a little more than 2 weeks out to the Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita. We're bummed he's not going out to the West Coast, but he's been a terrific horse. He'll get the best of care and a speedy recovery once again. Now, a couple of horses that are going out to the Breeders' Cup had workouts here at Belmont Park this morning. None bigger than the Gold Cup and Belmont Stakes winner Tonalist, who breezed actually 5/8 and 103 flat for Trader Christophe. Come on.
Yeah, he's not a fast workhorse. This seems like a maintenance breeze. First work back after the Gold Cup, as we'll check him out here, winning the Belmont Stakes actually against 3-year-olds, but he took down his older foes last time out in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and that's what he's hoping to do once again out in California.
Joel Rosario will have the ride. Curlin, the last horse to win the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Breeders' Cup Classic. Right, I originally said it was Cigar, and then it was Skip Away. Curlin back in 2007, and he would go on to be Horse of the Year and 3-year-old champion in 2007. Cigar Street for Bill Mott also had a workout, a half mile in 47 and 2, and he'll have John Velasquez going way up in class in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And speaking of trainer Bill Mott, he had a couple of horses front and center in today's featured 22nd running of the Pebbles. 11 3-year-old fillies total, big purse of $200K, a real grade 2, grade 3 kind of stake. There is no grade, but it's a star-studded cast as we send it up to a star in John Embrial.
And it's Distorted Beauty who goes out for the lead. Hot and Spicy, the gray, is running in second. Then it's Lady Lara in third. Cash Forever down on the inside in fourth. Now Kenza D'Argent moves up. Secret Someone's in between horses. Cash Forever had a steady there down on the inside. As they head up the backstretch, it is Distorted Beauty in front by a length. Ubiquitous Mantle has moved into second. It's Hot and Spicy down on the inside in third. Kenza D'Argent in between horses in fourth. And on the outside is Sandiva in fifth. Cash Forever is sixth. Secret Someone runs in seventh. Then it's Lady Lara in eighth. In between horses is Walk Close. Indian Rainbow has made her way down to the rail, and it's a break of about 7 to Munira, who trails in 11th in the quarter 1 in 24 seconds. Distorted Beauty still in front here as they go around the far turn. Distorted Beauty, 3/4 of a length, a half in 48 seconds. Ubiquitous Mantle, big long shot, second by a head. Kenza D'Argent is 3 wide, and Sandiva is 4 wide. Then it's Hot and Spicy, followed by Cash Forever and a Secret Someone. Then Indian Rainbow down at the rail, and Indian Rainbow is going to need some room as the field comes for the top of the stretch. It is Distorted Beauty, Kenza D'Argent in second, and on the outside it is Sandiva. 3/4 went in 1:11 and 4. Distorted Beauty kicks clear here by 4. On the far outside, here comes Lady Lara now. Distorted Beauty trying to hold off Lady Lara. It's going to be between those two. Distorted Beauty, Lady Lara with a late charge. Looked like she got it. Lady Lara way out on the outside, and Distorted Beauty down at the rail.
Lady Lara just up there in a nick of time. I mean, it looked like that horse in the red silks, Distorted Beauty, had the race won, but Lady Lara, I mean, a resolute run. I mean, she just flew home out in the middle of the turf course.
I was really shocked that she was the price that she was, and she paid $21.20 for the win. A very strong ride and a very strong finish from Lady Lara, who, if you go back to her European form, she had beaten Males last time out. She finished a half a length in the mix with Tradestorm, who took down the Woodbine Mile. So her European form was very good. And, I caught up with Belmont, and I cited the fact that, well, he hasn't had her that long, and this is what he had to say. Here with winning trainer Bill Mott in the Pebble Stakes today. Lady Lara, England import for you, Bill. She hasn't been with you that long, but she was a well-seasoned filly. She's already run 7 times this year. When did you get her, and what have you been doing with her?
Well, we can't take much credit for the win, really. The previous trainer gets all the credit. We just picked her up out of quarantine, and I've been talking to Mr. Sangster for quite a while about the filly coming over. It was just a matter of when she was going to come. He had thought earlier that maybe she'd come a little earlier in the year, but this, we pointed for this race and got her nominated, and they sent her, and she got the job done.
Well, she's been running great. At least her last 2 were very good, beating Males last time and finishing a close third behind Tradestorm. Is she going to stay here and stay with you?
Yeah, she'll stay here. Now, I guess we'll, figure out what we do from here, but I'm sure, maybe after this race or another one, we'll probably give her, the winter off and then bring her back in the spring, and it looks like she's got a bright future in front of her.
She truly does, Bill. Congratulations with Lady Lara today in the Pebbles.
Thank you.
Good 48 hours in the 3-year-old turf filly ranks for Mr. Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott, to say the least. The Pebbles today and a big prize Saturday out at Keeneland.
Yeah, exactly. What was the horse's name now?
Crown Queen in the
Crown
QE2.
Queen, wow. Yeah, she's been really good for Bill this year, Crown Queen. She's really stepped up her game, and it looks like he has a European horse that's going to be nice. I mean, he kind of alluded to the fact that might give her the time off. She's run hard this year and traveling across the Atlantic, and we'll see her back as a 4-year-old because she does have a promising future.
An army of turf horses for Bill Mott, not the story with Bruce Levine, who's done a great job with Distorted Beauty, and she ran well. A tough beat, but ran terrific in today's Pebbles. Another stake on the card. We had not 1 but 2 stakes on this Columbus Day 2014. Fillies and mares on the main, a short field, but a select field, as they say, in the Pumpkin Pie.
And Classic Point right out for the lead. Classic Point in front quickly. Wildcat Lily is now moving up to challenge, but it is Classic Point with the lead here by a length over Wildcat Lily. Voodoo Tales is on the outside in third, then a break of 2 to Katie's Garden in fourth, and it's another 5 lengths. Back to the trailer, Unbound in fifth. Classic Point ran the opening quarter mile in 22 4/5 seconds. It's Classic Point on the lead here by a half length. Wildcat Lily presses that pace in second. Voodoo Tales sitting just off the speed in third. Voodoo Tales 2.5 lengths from the front. It's another 3 to Katie's Garden, and 4 more to Unbound. Classic Point, Wildcat Lily, their heads apart after a fast half mile in 45 3/5 seconds. The field is at the quarter pole. Wildcat Lily, Classic Point, and Voodoo Tales on the outside. And now Unbound is just 4 lengths from the lead. Katie's Garden is the trailer as they come down for the 8th pole. It is Classic Point on the inside, and Classic Point has something left. She has opened up here in the stretch. Classic Point with a sharp performance here. Classic Point wins by almost 7 lengths. Unbound comes on for second.
It was almost like Classic Point beat the gate.
She did.
Blink of an eye on the lead, and that was it.
That really was it. And you look at her form, and going back, and her best races were when she was on the front end, but you didn't know she was going to get that today with the appearance of Voodoo Tales coming back off the layoff. Maybe Voodoo Tales wasn't quite as cranked up as she needed to be, and Classic Point did have that recency and the speed.
And she went out for trader Jimmy Jerkins, who, along with Erod Ortiz Jr., well, they upset the Pumpkin Pie, and they got to talk to Maggie right after.
Here are the winning connections of this year's Pumpkin Pie Stakes, Classic Point, and here with a resourceful Irad Ortiz in the winner's circle. Irad, you lost your whip about the 16th pole. You went to the goggles, but it didn't matter.
Yes, first thing I want to say thanks to the owner and the trainer for giving me the opportunity, and My feeling was, perfect. She broke in front and just tried to follow the instruction that Mr. Jerkin just gave me and turn her for home. She switched lead, and thanks God I can hit her one time before I lose my whip, and when I hit it, she take off. So then I change my whip and I lose, and then I look around, nobody was around, but I don't wanna she feel alone. I just take off the goggle and try to keep going, but she didn't great. She galloped out good, she run great. She was ready today.
Ira, congratulations, great job. Always love seeing a jockey think fast on their feet or in the irons, and we'll translate to winning trainer Jimmy Jerkins here. And Jimmy, a conscious decision. Her best races were on the front end. Putting the blinkers on, were you hoping she'd get the lead today?
Well, I don't know. I was just hoping she wouldn't. It might help her if she got in between horses. She wouldn't. She'd fight on a little more. It seemed like she got really discouraged in between horses, and I really didn't know if she'd be on the lead or not. But I said if she comes out of there easy enough and without you asking her, I said I wouldn't discourage her from it.
Great, Jimmy. Well, congratulations with Classic Point here today in the Pumpkin Pie Stakes.
Good pickup by you. I had missed Erad actually hitting the rail, the inside rail with his whip, and took off the goggles in deep stretch and went to work on Classic Point.
I have to give our producer Mitch credit. He picked that up. I was watching it down here on the big screen. It just doesn't do it justice when you're that far away from the big screen. But yeah, I'd love to see when jockeys do that. When in doubt, just take off the goggles and start going.
Erad Ortiz has made few mistakes, it seems, at this meet. Another nice win for him in the pumpkin pie, which we will put away in the fridge. We'll take a little rest on the show. And Maggie and I are back on this Columbus Day edition of Belmont Insider in just a few moments.
Now's the time to sign up for a Naira Rewards account with our new Bet 100, Get 100 bonus. We want to deposit $100 into the accounts of new signups during the Belmont Fall Championship meet. Just enroll, bet $100, and you'll receive $100 in your account the next day. It's that easy. Plus, new signups can access the brand new Naira HD app and watch live streaming races on their smartphones. Sign up today on track or at NairaRewards.com.
Back to beautiful Belmont Park. It is hard to believe, and it's a little bittersweet. 9 full cards remain. We're dark the next couple of days, back in action Thursday, and that is our run-in through this Saturday's Empire Showcase Day at the Big B. It is an October tradition, a day where Belmont comes alive. We'll have the vendors downstairs, the 8 championship New York bred stakes, and an early first post, Miss Maggie, of 12:20 because we run 11 at full fields all day long.
And we have the Hudson as our feature race for the MSG show, but we'll cover all of them. That will be our one live race that we show, and looking forward to it. I love Showcase Day.
Yeah.
There's some hard knocking and talented young New York breds as well, and they'll match up after some of them running in open stakes throughout the year, and we'll see, I'm sure, some dazzling performances this time
It'll be
around.
good to get them in the spotlight here with the 8 championship stakes. From 5 to 6 p.m. will be our New York bred show on MSG Plus next Saturday, so keep that in mind as we get you back race number 8 on this Monday afternoon at beautiful Belmont Park. Well, they are firing it in and sending it in on the Santa Anita simulcast. We're happy about that, but we'll send it back up to Johnny I in the meantime from the Belmont Cafe to the inner turf for race number 8. Pretty nice allowance.
And they're off. Indian Splendor sprints out for the early lead and quickly opens up here. Indian Splendor has a 4-length lead. Good so far. Dauphine Rouge right together, second and third. Persnickety is in fourth. On the outside is Pinot Grigio in fifth. Claiming Victory is sixth with Simply Spectacular alongside in seventh. And Evening Show is the trailer in eighth. Indian Splendor by 3.5 lengths. Good so far is second by a half length, and Dauphine Rouge is third. The quarter went in 23 and 1/5 seconds. Indian Splendor in front as they race midway on the turn. Indian Splendor still in front, but the lead's down to a length. Dauphine Rouge runs in second. Good so far towards the inside in third. Then the gray Persnickety in fourth, followed by Claiming Victory and Pinot Grigio. The half in 47 and 3/5 seconds. They're in the stretch. Indian Splendor trying to go wire to wire here. Dauphine Rouge on the outside, and good so far down at the rail. Here comes Dauphine Rouge now to challenge Indian Splendor. and Dauphine Rouge takes over. Then Indian Splendor, good so far, late run from claiming victory, but it's Dauphine Rouge, a 2-length winner on the wire. Close for second between the late closing claiming victory.
We talked about Erod going to break, making all the right moves. Well, 3 wide, stalking the pace, and Dauphine Rouge, I mean, she just kicked clear here.
Yeah, this was an impressive comeback for her off the bench. Haven't seen her since a win on the synthetic down there at Keeneland. Well, that doesn't exist anymore, but the turf course here at Belmont does. And I always felt as though this filly would be better sprinting, and she really proved it today. She was a happy winner as we see her ears prick crossing the wire.
First start since mid-April, as you noted, for Chad Brown, win number 23. It looks like he and his staff are well on their way to clinching a 3rd consecutive Belmont Park Fall training title, and Martin Schwartz, the winning owner of Dauphine Rouge. So I would imagine off this race today, you're probably looking at a stakes race going short on the turf.
Exactly,
right?
I would think so. Where? Probably not here, but maybe down
at the Big A.
At South and maybe going to California. Who knows?
All right, fair enough. Well, let's get you back a few other highlights on Columbus Day 2014. At one time, those stalls were occupied by horses who would later go out to Big Sandy and compete, and here's what happened.
Hard, All Love Me in behind, horses looking for a way through, and Kleptocrat, they have caught Moonlight Fantasy. Moldavite is there. Stonely Heart on the outside. And Kleptocrat is in with a chance. There's a 16th to the wire. It's Stonely Heart. Moldavite. Kleptocrat on the outside. Here is Kleptocrat to take it. Kleptocrat by a field heads for home now, and it is Papa Tom and Joe Can Gallop. They continue to battle it out here. They're 1-2 with Western Tryst and Raglan River gaining ground on the outside. Joe Can Gallop, Western Tryst, and Raglan River. Joe Can Gallop trying to hold off Western Tryst. Western Tryst and Joe Can Gallop, the 2 to the wire. Western Tryst got it by a head. Joe Can Gallop was second, and Ragnolia down at the rail. And just in behind, Off My Cloud, and here comes Colonel Juanita down at the rail. Less than 3/16 to the finish. Off My Cloud. Shauna Alexandra. At the rail, it's Colonel Juanita. Then it's Konzig inside the 16th now. And it's Off My Cloud with the lead as they come for the wire. Off My Cloud, length and a half. Colonel Juanita was second. Then Shauna Alexandra and Konzig in third. Mock Agan in behind horses. On the far outside, it's Adams Note. They're in the stretch now. Slews Brew with the lead here. It's Slews Brew by 2. And then Adams Note on the outside is a Blue Pigeon, and Mockhagen is now coming on. Slews Brew with the lead. Mockhagen second. Slews Brew pulls off the upset at 12-1. Mockhagen was second. Donner is running in third, and Jackie Black is in fourth. Oh my God, Donner is coming up on the outside of She's Marvy. And it's Oh my God, Donna to take over. She's Marvy in second, and Saluda is third, followed by Ooh La La. Oh my God, Donna by more than 4 lengths. She's Marvy was second. Then Salute Absolute Beauty and Dramatized Veronica Bay on the extreme outside. Veronica Bay now comes away with the lead. And here is Flirtatious Spring to challenge. Barbara's Smile has moved up. Down on the inside is a My 4 Rewards. Veronica Bay, Flirtatious Spring, My 4 Rewards. Those 3 come to the wire, and it's Veronica Bay by a head. Flirtatious Spring in between horses second. And JC's Revenge now the trailer. And now a Lutheran Miss has the lead, challenged by Miss Motivation as Kevin Steele drops out of it. It's a Lutheran Miss on the inside and Miss Motivation on the outside. Which Miss will it be? Lutheran Miss, Miss Motivation. They come down for the wire. Lutheran Miss, Miss Motivation. It's a photo finish. It's a head bob. Miss Motivation or Lutheran Miss?
That's right, Johnny I. A head bob that eventually went to Miss Motivational, and she paid $22.80 at a big price in the last for Gary Siaka, second consecutive in as many days, long shot turf winner here at Belmont.
Yeah, he had a great week. I think he won 3 races this week overall, so on the turf too, and they paid handsomely.
Well, of course, that horse also clinched a double pick 6 carryover of $98,000 plus into Thursday's card. Dark the next couple of days, Tuesday and Wednesday, back at it with $98K plus in the pick 6. Another price won earlier in the day, Dylan Davis, race number 4. Strong finish and a heady ride, having Slews Brew on the engine throughout in the orange cap.
Turning back as well to the 7 furlongs. But this horse, you know, I give credit to the job that Jackie Falk has done with him. He's now had 3 seconds and 2 wins here in New York. I mean, against state breds, but on the turf, he's been really good. And Dylan Davis has gotten to know him, and he's given him great rides. As you said, kept him closer to the pace, which you need to do with these horses turning back.
Yeah, it certainly looks like Dylan Davis will be ready for a big winter once we get over to the Big A. The same can be said for 18-year-old apprentice Israel Rodriguez, who engineered that upset with mismotivation in the nightcap. He is really strong and clean for a 7-pound bug rider. 3 claims on the afternoon, including, oh my God, Donna, who was claimed out of Ken McPeak's barn.
And she won pretty nicely with the addition of Lasix and getting on the dirt and sprinting. That, to me, looked as though what she wanted to do all along, and maybe not a bad pickup, at least for a wintertime horse here in New York.
No, she's a New York bred 2-year-old filly who's okay, and you certainly showed that affinity for the dirt. As we take one more rest on this edition of Sundays or Mondays Insider, it feels like a Sunday. We're back in the home stretch in a second.
Now's the time to sign up for a Naira Rewards account with our new Bet 100, Get 100 bonus. We want to deposit $100 into the accounts of new signups during the Belmont Fall Championship meet. Just enroll, bet $100, and you'll receive $100 in your account the next day. It's that easy. Plus, new signups can access the brand new Naira HD app and watch live streaming races on their smartphones. Sign up today on track or at NairaRewards.com.
Things have settled down, in fact, getting quite dark. The day's getting shorter. The leaves are turning here at Belmont Park. We're almost at the Big A, but that's okay. 9 full cards remain, and with that in mind, the Belmont Santa Anita cross-country double. 2 racing institutions, 1 great wager available, the first leg anyway, on the last race. Every day Belmont Park is running, so take a look at that with your Naira Rewards. Welcome back, Belmont Insider. Again, for many of us, it feels like a Sunday, but it is a Monday, and we get you back last Wednesday to Bay of Plenty, who was just awesome in this allowance win.
This did seem like a while ago, but he really was good. Coming off of a layoff here for trainer Kieran McLaughlin, geared down by Irad Ortiz in the final stages of this race, saving a little bit, I would assume, for the Discovery coming up at the Big A.
Yep, opening weekend at the Big A, Breeders' Cup Saturday. Now, what about Ready for Rye? Sloppy track here on Saturday. 96 buyer for this guy, Son of City Zip.
Yeah, I think we would have seen the same kind of performance from him, even if it was a dry, fast track, and because he finished a good second behind eventual Breeders' Futurity winner Carpe Diem, who's on his way to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Ready for Rye seems like a very promising colt for Tom Albatrani.
Now, Niall Seville, a first for him here Saturday, about a half hour after Ready for Rye won, winning the Knickerbocker with Legendary in a fast fig.
And he didn't just win his, first great at stake here. Legendary was ultra impressive. As you see that 103 buyer, it doesn't seem like horses really earn that much in a race like this, going the 1 1/8 on the turf, but he was fantastic, and I love watching this horse throughout this 2014 campaign.
No, a weekend of first at Belmont Park, looking at the connections of the Knickerbocker and the connections that won the Athenia here Sunday afternoon, and Manny Franco gets the riding star of the week with 8 victories and a pick 3 earlier in the day. Not bad.
Yeah, he did. He swept the first 3 races on this Monday Columbus Day card, and he's just been riding so well. He rides in so many different dimensions. You see him on the front end winning. You see him coming from behind. He's a very athletic kid, I should say.
Only 19, yeah.
So proportionate to be a jockey. He's got that perfect physicality for being a rider.
Well, Manny Franco continues to do well. 19 wins. Not in the same zip code, at least at this point, regarding the 35 for Javier Castellano, our leading rider at Belmont Park, heading into the penultimate week of racing. Regarding the trainers, Chad Brown continues to do many things good and had a nice winner today and wrapped up the week 7 for 16 at Belmont.
That's really impressive. And, I keep thinking about what Andy used to say about his Belmont stats. Well, he's really proven him wrong, at least in the last couple of years, and he's well on his way to winning another another Belmont Fall title.
Second nationally in earnings behind Todd Pletcher with just under $11 million with 2 weeks to go before the Breeders' Cup. Chad Brown, 23, looking for 3 consecutive Belmont Fall training titles. As we check out the owner standings here on Insider, Michael Dubb, I mean, he had a monster weekend, had 3 wins on Saturday, another winner today, 11 total, drawing away his second with 8, and David Jacobson is third with 6. As we look ahead to Thursday, not a Wednesday, a Thursday, a double pick 6 carryover, and our ace handicapper, Andy Serling.
Thanks a lot. Well, looking ahead towards Thursday's card, as seems to be usually the case, there is some weather in the area. We'll hope it holds off, and we'll hope that we're on the turf as we always do. But I'll look at the 4th race, and I'll give you a horse for the turf, and I'll give you a horse for the dirt. Hopefully on the turf. I think there's a horse in this race that's very interesting, and that's the 11, St. Louis. St. Louis is making his second start, and in his debut, he ducked in badly at the start and essentially took himself out of the race. Made a very nice run to reach contention, and at that point, he had done too much already. And I actually thought, after encountering some stretch traffic, he did pretty well to finish 8th, beating just 3 lengths. Thought that was a good enough effort. With 1 race under his belt, I think he could be very dangerous. He's got to get away, though, from that tough outside post position he has. That's the 11, St. Louis. Now, if we get some rain, and God forbid the race comes off the turf, I like the 8, Leave the Light On. 1 or 2 horses coming out of that Daredevil race. Now, Daredevil, we know, came back to win the Champagne, and I thought Leave the Light On looked like a horse that will benefit from his debut, as many of Chad Brown's debuters on dirt frequently do, as we go back to Maggie and Jason.
I can't fault Andy for picking a turf horse or a 2-year-old named after one of my favorite New York Rangers and Marty St. Louis. At least that's what I'm going with in my mind, even though they got killed by the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. And what's better than this? We've got you here for a live Paddock Insider. What's the story for Thursday?
Well, you know, Andy did bring up a good point that once again we might be off the turf. And a filly that has had her woes and being rained off the turf is in the last. It's a New York bred maiden special weight for the 2-year-olds, going the 6 furlongs on the turf. And number 2, RY Squadron. No, she's not going to be a big price in here. She's coming out of the Chad Brown barn, and he's sitting at 26% with these kind of horses. But she's been very highly regarded by the barn for a New York bred filly. But unfortunately, she's been rained off, and she's been a scratch. So she's more than ready to make her debut here. Hopefully, it's still on the turf.
It sounds to me like you've got a couple of pick 6 singles and chasing that double carryover into Thursday's card. Great job as always, Maggie. We thank you for tuning in to this special Monday edition of Belmont Insider. Don't forget the Racing Report Tuesday and Wednesday, and we're chasing the cash this coming Thursday with the first race post of 12:50.